Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today is another installment of what's in my makeup bag. If you're new to my channel, what's in my makeup bag is pretty much me showing you guys products that I will be focusing on for the entire month, just because I have a lot of products and sometimes I get distracted every day, so I like to put things in this bag so I know whatever in this bag, that's what I have to choose from outside of my normal YouTube reviews. So that's pretty much what's in my makeup bag. So yeah, so this will be everything that's going in my bag for the month of September. I did pick this makeup bag off of Amazon. If it is available, I will have a link. I know last month it wasn't available, but if it is available, I will have a link in the description. But anyway, y'all, let's just get right into what's in my makeup bag for the month of September. Okay, in this month for primers, I will be using my YSL Touche Eclipse Blurring Primer. This is one of my favorite primers to use. This is not a mattifying primer. This is just a nice primer that gives you like a smooth canvas. It's blurring just this time and time again. Like, I highly recommend this one. And I have the silver one. They have a silver and a gold one. I always just repurchase the silver one because that's just the one that works for me. The primer that I will be using is the Dior Forever Skin Veil Primer. This is pretty much like an SPF / primer. I really like to use this. Now, this is not the most matte primer, but it is a good one. Like, I would highly recommend this to someone who has extremely dry skin, or if you just want a primer that has a lot of SPF in it, this would be a good choice. I will be using this month is the Gucci Mattifying Primer. This is a decent matte primer. Now, it's not like one of the best, but it is pretty decent. It's a little overpriced, but yeah, I don't use it often, and it's definitely time to put it to use. I decided to add another primer. This is the Milk Eclipse Pore Eclipse Primer. I think that's the name of it. I put this in my makeup bag last month and I did not reach for it at all, just because the few times I did use it, I wasn't impressed. Hopefully this month I will actually put it to use instead of just having it sitting. Foundation, I decided to use this La Mer Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation. I've tried this a couple times. I used it. I like the way that it looked. But recently, I used this on my birthday, and I love the way that this looked in person. I love the way it looked in photographs, so I want to use this some more because, like, I was impressed. I'm like, why I don't use this often? Like, this is a really good foundation. Now, it is on the pricey side, but it is absolutely worth it. And if anybody is wondering what shade do I have the shade 460 Sienna, and this is a perfect shade match. And next foundation that I will be using is the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation. I have the shade 5N. This is a really nice foundation. Doesn't have a lot of coverage. I have the shade, I think, 5N, and this is not orange at all. This is like a nice neutral shade, because Dior, sometimes the foundations be a little on the orange side. This is one that isn't. So I decided to wear this just because I've had it for a while and it's actually just been sitting. I don't put it to use often. And the next foundation I will be using is the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I have a review up on my channel. The shade that I used wasn't a perfect shade match, so I went in store to Sephora and I picked up the shade 15, which is a perfect shade match. And I decided to pull out a powder foundation just because I don't really be using my powder foundations. I use them kind of just to set my liquid foundations. I don't really wear them on their own. So I decided to pull this one out. And also I do have the shade Dark One Gold. This month for my bronzers and concealers, I will be using the Morphe Filter Effects Soft Radiance Concealer. This is a really good concealer. It almost seems like it is a high-end or luxury concealer. I have two shades, so I will be using both shades this month. And the shades I do have are the shades Tan 74, and I also have Rich 28. I feel like Tan 24 is a really good shade to give you that bright under eye look. And I also decided to pull out my YSL All Hours concealer. This is a really nice one as well. This has a natural finish. It's medium coverage, and I will be using the shade 5.25. And I decided to use the Sephora Best Skin Ever multi-use concealer, and the shade I have is 44Y. This is not a shade that's going to give me a bright under eye look, but I do want to use it. I'm probably going to go into Sephora this week and get a different shade, but this is the concealer that, one of the concealers I will be using this month. And for bronzer, I decided to use the Gucci bronzer, and I have the shade 05. This is not one of my favorite bronzers. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take out both shades. I'm going to use 05 and 04 just because both actually works for me. I feel like the shade 5 is a little too red. It almost is like blush on my skin tone, but I am going to rotate between these two. Bronzer I will be using is the One Size Made for Shade Trio Bronze, and I have the shade Dark Trio, so I will be using this as a bronzer this month. For my setting powders, I will be using my Dior Forever Cushion Powder. I have the shade Deep. I've had this for a while, haven't used it in a minute. This is one of my favorite powders. I will be using this as a setting powder this month. Powder I will be using is the Urban Decay All Nighter Translucent Powder. This is a really matte powder. Like, this is definitely matte. I've had it for a while. It's time to put it to use because I don't want it to expire on me. And this Armani Neo powder. This is like a nice setting powder. It kind of gives your skin a nice little radiance. It's not too glowy. You just have like a soft, subtle glow. So I decided to use this. And when I first picked this up, looking at this shade online, I thought it would be great as a bronzer. But when I got it home, I realized it was too close to my skin tone to use as a bronzer. And I have the shade 14. I know this has been reformulated because the new packaging is a lot different. This one I've had for a while. Decided to use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush powder. I have the mini size in the shade Deep. I use this here and there. I don't really like use it consistently, but I do want to put it to use this month. Blush this month, I decided to use this Hourglass. This is the blush stick, and I have the shade Adore. The shade that I have is just like a nice berry kind of shade. I feel like they would be perfect to use this time of year. And I also decided to pull out this Natasha Denona Rose Cheek Duo. I have a review up on my channel. When I reviewed this, I don't know why I wasn't too crazy about it, but the few times I did use it, I actually really like the way that it looks. So I will be using this. This is like a cream blush, and on top of it is like a shimmery powder. And lastly, I will be using this Revolution XX blush. I don't know what shade this is, but this is like a nice, pretty coral shade that I definitely want to use up. Lips. These are the products that I will be using, and the first thing I will be using is this Ultra Suede lipstick by Mario, and I have the shade Maurice. This is like a nice chocolate kind of shade. This is what Maurice looks like swatched on my hand. As you see, this is like a nice deep chocolate shade. The next lipstick I will be using is a liquid lipstick from Chanel, and this is the shade 62 Still. This is the Rouge Allure lipstick. This is like a nice pinky shade. It looks like a nude shade on me when I use it with the brown lip liner. It's not matte. This is more like a satin glossy kind of look it gives your lips. Next lip product I will be using is the Hourglass. This is like a plumping lip gloss, and I have the shade Trace. This shows up on me as like a nice nude shade. This is a gloss, it's not a lipstick. This is what that looks like. Love how this looks on the lips, and this really plumps up your lips without giving you that tingling kind of feeling that you normally get with lip plumpers. Decided to pull out one of my YSL Rouge Couture lipstick, and I have the shade 53. I think it's 53 or 52. Okay, it's 53. This is like a beautiful mauve kind of nude shade. Like, I love the way that this looks. This is a satin finish. It is not matte. It is very long lasting. Super pigmented. Love this lipstick. This is absolutely one of my favorite shades of lipstick to wear from YSL. And the next lipstick that I will be wearing comes from Tom Ford. This is one of the limited edition lipsticks they came out with. This was like the Rose Prick collection, I believe. And I have the shade 26 to die for. I don't use this shade that much just because I don't really like the quality of Tom Ford lipsticks. I feel like the quality is terrible compared to other brands. So this is one that I don't use because I just be scared. Anytime you apply a little pressure to Tom Ford lipsticks, they break apart easily. So this is like a nice pinky shade. This looks really good with the brown lip liner. This is not matte. This has more of a satin finish. Again, I don't really use it that often, so it's definitely time to put it to use. I also decided to pull out this Dior lip stain. I have a review of this on my channel. I really like these. These are super long lasting. You could eat, drink, and this is not going anywhere. And I like to wear the shade 421. I think this is a shade Sweet Tea or something like that. I just love the way that this looks. This is a nice nude shade. Once it dry down, it's not going anywhere, y'all. Alright, y'all, that is it. Those are all the products that is in my makeup bag for the month of September. Y'all let me know, have you tried out any of these products, or if you would like an update on any of the products that I put in this bag. Y'all let me know in the comment section, and most importantly, y'all don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.